everybody, it's Wendy Frankie from the Kai's Company, and this is video 2 in the series, How to Sell Your Home for More Money. Today we are talking about painting and flooring. This is probably the most common question that I get asked. People are always wanting to know if they need to paint or if they need to change out flooring, and hopefully I'm going to try to answer those questions for you today as best I can. Basically, there's some easy answers, yes answers for the flooring. If you have completely remodeled your home, if everything else is done, updated, upgraded, ready to go, and the only thing you have left to do is your flooring, then yes, you definitely need to do your flooring. It's kind of like running a marathon and finishing an inch short of the finish line. I mean, why wouldn't you want to finish? You definitely need to do that. And if you have flooring that's in bad shape, carpet that's threadbare, tiles that are cracked and broken, especially in first impression areas, then that definitely has lived its life and needs to be replaced. And again, you need to remember that this is all because we are appealing to the buyers when they're walking into the home, and we don't want them to be looking for projects. Unfortunately, painting and flooring are projects that buyers don't want to necessarily take on when they buy a house. Those can be bigger ticket items for them that not necessarily painting, but flooring can be, and they may not have the liquid funds available after paying all their closing costs and down payment to come in and do that. So by having it done out of sight, out of mind, again, then you're the one that's going to benefit from that. Other situations, if you have flooring that is in a super crazy color that just does not go with the rest of the house, for instance, green or purple carpet in a neutral home, stuff like that, really super dated flooring, shade carpet, believe it or not, we still see that. All that stuff is gonna put the buyer in the wrong frame of mind when they're looking at your house, and they're gonna start focusing on projects, and that's what we don't want to have happen. So again, by you doing this stuff ahead of time, you're doing it on your terms, your costs, your contractors, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. People say, well, the risk is that I'm gonna put something in and they're gonna want something different. But the fact is just by putting in new, it's fresh, new, and it's out of sight, out of mind. Yes, they may want to replace it down the road and do something different, but they're not going to feel like they have to do it, and they can live with it, and they're not going to have to feel like they're budgeting for it right away. So that's where the difference is. The same thing goes with the easy yes answers for the painting. If you've done everything else in the house and the painting is left to do, then that's the easiest thing left to do. It freshens the house up. It crisps it up. There's always little dings and nicks on the walls, especially in your first impression areas. And what I'm talking about are the areas that the buyer sees first when they walk into your home. So whether it's a formal living and dining, family room, kitchen, the main areas of your home, definitely want to be at the best of that they can be. So putting in a nice, clean, warm, neutral color, getting rid of any dark colors or really specific colors. So I would say in first impression rooms, if you have very specific colors like jewel tones and just accent walls, that it may be a good idea to just go ahead and lighten those up and freshen those up with just a neutral paint, so buyers can place their own furniture in there and not feel like they're going to have to come in and paint right away. So definitely doing that. You can paint yourself, you can have somebody come in it. Painting is not that expensive to do, and you definitely get a great rate of return on your investment. The other thing that's an absolute must is wallpaper, and the more wallpaper you have, the more it needs to come down. People will absolutely not buy a house because there's wallpaper in it. If they've ever had to deal with it, they swear that they're never going to deal with it again. And so it is very important for you to get rid of wallpaper and put in a nice warm neutral paint color, and again, just out of sight, out of mind. So basically the way to look at flooring and paint is to kind of view it like a present. The paint and the flooring is the wrapping paper, and the nicer the wrapping paper is, it usually appears that it's a more valuable present. The fancier the wrapping is, the nicer the wrapping paper is, the more quality the present is going to be. And it kind of goes along those same lines with your house. The nicer the appearance is, the nicer the flooring, the more updated, the more crisp and clean your walls, not so many nail holes and little dings, and plus just painting freshens up the smell in the house. It gets rid of any maybe cooking odors that you may have and stuff like that. So lots of benefits to it. And again, this is one of those things where you may not fall into one of these. Yes, definitely, you have to do categories. So that's where I come in. It may need to be a situation where you need to have a second set of eyes, say, yes, this needs to be done, or no, this could be okay. I told you I'd use my own personal house as an example of what to do and what not to do. My house sat on the market for almost 6 months when I bought, and one of the many reasons was the paint color inside. It's a very open, bright layout, but it was a very dingy, kind of a creamy yellow paint that was on the walls, and it didn't match the wood in the kitchen. It's all white trim and doors, and it had such a yellow tone to it that it almost gave the appearance that somebody had lived in the house for 30 years and smoked. And now I knew that wasn't the case, but that's what this paint looked like. It was it really was not flattering in this home at all, and luckily I could see past it. The very first thing I did was have some painters come in and paint 2 tones of white off of the original trim and crisp that all up too. But it's like a whole different house, and I'm confident that if the sellers would have done the same thing, the house would have had a completely different appearance to buyers looking at it when they had it on the market. And it wasn't that expensive to do, and it just completely changed the look of the whole house. And it isn't just this house. I've seen this happen with many houses. That's why painting and flooring are super important. Again, we're learning how to sell our home for more money, and these are items that can be very cost effective. You can get by at a medium expense rate, and you can maximize your rate of return because buyers are willing to pay to move into a house that has everything done. So again, a very good area to focus on. And if you ever get stuck, it's very important to call me as your agent to come in, and I can tell you if this needs to be done or does not need to be done. So again, I hope this was helpful, and stay tuned. There's definitely more coming in the series, and we will be talking soon. Bye.